to reviews. I'm your host, Jonathan Moody. We got a fun show for you guys. We're gonna be doing Witness, if I can get it going in the right way. Witness, a 1985 film directed by Peter Weir. The guy, same guy did Picnic at Hanging Rock and a bunch of other great movies. He did this movie, and we've also reviewed Gallipoli before with him. And Witness, I decided to do on my own because I'm not sure if we'll ever do it on Film Freaks, or if we will someday. I think it'll be long down the road. And so I wanted to touch on this. Usually these last about 10 minutes, 15 minutes at the most. So figured why not have a little quick chat about this, let people know that you can get this on 4K through Arrow. And it's got some great stuff to it. It is not, sadly, it doesn't have a poster or anything. And it says like, yeah, so it says 4K Blu-ray special edition. So anyway, let's go into the review itself. So this movie basically is about a kid, an Amish kid, who is on the train to go train station or plane station. I think it's train station. And they're going, yeah, train station, bus station, something like that. Wait a minute. Hold on. I will read this. So Harrison Ford and Kelly McGillis star as the would-be lovers from two different worlds in Witness. Director Peter Weir's Academy Award-winning neo-noir thriller, which pits modernity against tradition. When a young Amish boy inadvertently witnesses a brutal murder while en route to Philadelphia with his recently widowed mother, Rachel, Detective John Book, played by Ford, Rachel's Kelly McGillis, is assigned to the case. When the perpetrators, desperate to silence the sole witness, Book and his two wards are forced to hide out in the heart of the Amish community. As passions between Book and Rachel ignite, the killers close in, culminating in a dramatic life and death clash of cultures that will change the lives of those involved forever. Noted for its sensitive portrayal of the Amish community, Witness features a career best performance from Ford, earning him an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor. Fully restored in 4K, Witness proves as timeless as it's masterful. So basically, yeah. So Lucas Haas plays this little kid who witnesses a murder, and he was very smart in how he handled getting away from the murderer, which is he was in a bathroom stall, and when the murderer's kind of checking the bathroom stall, he slipped under the other one and, got under there before the guy checked his and everything. And then, yeah, and he ended up getting out and everything, and he was the witness to the murder, so uh John Book, which is Harrison Ford's character, comes up to him and talks to him, and they set out to figure out how to, who discover who this person is. And meanwhile, they get to stay at Harrison Ford's, John Book's, sister's place, and get to know sort of a little bit of what's the city life, and a little bit about John. That John's very private and doesn't really talk about it, but his sister's a little bit of a blabbermouth. And so they kind of get to know John a little bit, and then uh, was it Samuel, the witness, figures out who it is. It's this narcotics officer guy and detective, and they end up he ends up telling the wrong person, who's like his boss, and his boss is in on it and everything. And so there's a lot that goes on. I don't want to go into everything, and trust me, I will spoil a few things, but he does hide out in the Amish thing, and they do really do very well with like you know, um kind of giving you a glimpse into what the Amish life was like, and also what like, because I watched this interview with Peter Weir on that's on this, and in that interview, Peter's like talking about how, or should I call him Mr. Weir, is talking about how the Amish sort of were watching these things, and a lot of people in the crew didn't even know like what was Amish, didn't know what the Amish people. It's not like now where you have Google and you have YouTube, or you can watch these things about them, or they have even like the reality. I think they have a reality show about the Amish and stuff. But back then in the 80s, they didn't have any of this stuff. So a lot of the people were very confused and I think the crew probably had to live like an Amish crew too, like a little bit, and stuff and help out and do things and because that's in this movie, that's what Harrison Ford does because he's sort of since he's staying there for and he didn't want to stay there. He was trying to leave at first, but he was too hurt because one of the guys had well Danny Glover, who I don't think I'd ever seen him as a villain before, and he was a villain in this movie, and that was great, especially a cop villain. Like this was Mr. Lethal Weapon, which I think was like a couple years later, so like him to be like this cop killer slash actually being a cop, that kind of thing. His character, like that was just great. Um, I actually really enjoyed it. There's Viggo Mortensen's in it. Very small role, but he's in it. There's just so many great actors in it. Kelly McGillis, I mean, she was just so adorable in the movie. You really felt for her character the whole time. You're just like you feel bad that all this stuff's happening to her and her son. Lucas Haas was so great. This is like obviously beginning of his career and he was very young when they shot this movie. I was 3 when this movie came out. And I remember we used to have it on Betamax. That's how long ago this movie came out. My favorite scene in the movie has got to be the scene where where he's was Harrison Ford is with the Amish people and there's tourists that are just treating them like crap. They stopped it so they can they put the cars so they can they can't go through them so they don't have to deal with them and then they start like putting ice cream on one of the guys and Harrison Ford is not an Amish guy and he's not going to be an Amish guy like he's never this would never be his thing so he gets out of the carriage and one of the guys Eli I believe it is was like hey get back here right and he goes up there and he beats the crap out of the guy for doing that. He wasn't sitting back and from what I understood like from what the director said in the commentary or not commentary but the I think there is a commentary with him but what he said in the uh what he said in the behind the scenes is that uh some of the what is it Amish people were watching. They were watching it, and they got so excited when they saw somebody beats one of those guys up because he was like, I guarantee those guys have to deal with that all the time. Bullies, and stuff. Which I don't get it. Like let whoever it is like let them live their life. Why you gotta like pick on them? But they're just people, just awful people like that. I bet they're still there too. I bet there are people who are just mean to them, and I feel bad because they are the sweetest people. It seems like they all they want to do is just do their work and go to bed. Wake up and do it all over again. They have a simple life, and it's pretty awesome. And I like it. They're there for God's will and everything like that. And uh, there's a big shootout at the end, with stuff, and there's a great shot. And I knew it, and I hadn't seen this movie in forever, so it's almost like I forgot. Because remember, I used to have it on Betamax, but I don't remember. I don't know even know if I've watched all the way through. But there was this great shot where where there's just like a lone road. And so I thought to myself, there's 2 things that could happen. Either Harrison Ford is driving away to go deal with those people, or those people are coming down that road on the other side. And yep, sure enough, the bad guys come in, they go into the trunk of the car and pick out their guns and, you know, and then start walking. And as you see them walking, it's the greatest shots. You like, it just looks cool. There's a great shot of Kelly McGillis and Harrison Ford kissing. That was really good. I mean, it was simple. It was a simple shot of just them kissing and like a close up, but like the way the background is with the gray clouds, it's just perfect. Um, so yeah, it's just a great movie. I had a really fun time with it. It's not one of my favorite films of all time or anything. This isn't going to be on my, I don't know. This will be on my top maybe 100, maybe. I don't know. But like, there's so many great movies out there. This is a great movie, but this isn't like 5 stars or anything. This is 4.5. I put this as 4.5. And so Witness, um, and so I'm going to give you guys the special features. So audio commentary by film historian Jarrett Gahan, video interview with cinematographer John Seal, visual essay on the film's performance by film journalist Lane Wilson, vintage in 1985 interview in which Harrison Ford discusses Witness with critic Bobby Wygant. Between Two Worlds, 5-part archival documentary on the making of the film featuring interviews with Harrison Ford, Kelly McGillis, Peter Weir, John Seal, producer Edward S. Feldman, actors Lucas Haas, Patty Lapone, and Viggo Mortensen. A conversation with Peter Weir, archival interview with the film's director, which I watched. It was only like 7 minutes long. Deleted scenes from the network TV version of the film, the actual trailer and image gallery. See, I did Cobra last week, and so I'm wondering if why they didn't do like they didn't put up the TV movie version like they did for Cobra. Kind of surprised about that because that seemed to be a thing that they're doing a lot with Arrow. Not a bad thing. I like that. One last thing I want to mention is that the ending of the movie, obviously he can't stay there, she can't leave there. They're just not going to work out. And he kind of leaves. He knows, he understands, but he's kind of sad. She's sad, but she understands. And he gets in his car and drives off. And there's this guy walking by, and he sees, Harrison Ford driving by, and he kind of tips his hat. And it's the guy that's been sort of chatting her up. And you're supposed to know, and I didn't pick up on this until the director talked about it, but you're supposed to know sort of that was uh the that was them saying that that guy is going to be with her, now and everything, and him basically saying thank you while Harrison Ford drives away. I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. There was some really cool stuff in it, and I had a blast. If you haven't seen it, I definitely highly recommend checking it out. It's one of those movies that I feel like you've probably seen other movies similar to it after. Like I said, Cobra kind of did some stuff with that, and there's similar stuff, but I feel like this was one of the first, if not, it was one of them. And so it was really fun and enjoyable. Peter Weir's did a great job. John Seal did amazing cinematography. I mean, they both caught just the life of the Amish, the barn building and carpentry and all this stuff, and it wasn't boring. Like I would have thought like watching the Amish work would be boring, but the way they filmed it, the music, everything to it, just so much. It was almost like watching a documentary, but then having like a feature film inside the documentary. Like I really enjoyed it and had a blast, and I'm so glad I own it. Like unfortunately, unlike Cobra, like I don't see myself watching this every year, something. But I might watch this, every once in a while. Like I might be in the mood to check this out or show somebody who's never seen the movie. That I think I'll probably do more. If somebody hasn't seen it, like, oh, you got to see this movie. It's Harrison Ford at some of his best. One of the main reasons I picked watching it this time is because I just finished both seasons of Shrinking, and Harrison Ford is just so good in that. It's a comedy with some drama, a lot of drama in it, and he does so good at both. Like he's great at comedy, he's great at drama. I think everybody's so used to seeing him as like Indiana Jones or Han Solo that they forget that he's done stuff like this and Blade Runner and so many great movies. And Blade Runner, I know will be on like Film Freaks at some point, but I don't think Witness will be. Just because it's a great movie, but it's not something I feel like, you know, it doesn't necessarily fit the We Love unless Paul picks it. Paul picks it, that's a different story. But like for me, it's a great movie. I'm definitely happy to have it. I'm definitely like excited to watch it again. But yeah, you know, I don't know. It's not my number one favorite. It's once again, just like Cobra, I don't think this would be in my top. Well, I don't even think it would be in my top 100. Like it, I like Cobra, and I just still don't think that's gonna be like. I know there's so many great movies out there, but these are definitely great movies, and so next week I think it's Carlito's Way next week. So join us for that. That's gonna be fun. Um, so anyway, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll be back. Well, I'll be back. Say we, but I'll be back next week for a brand new episode. Until then, everybody, bye.